Michael Shea, Krakow player, champion, big money, practitioner of the submarine ball, and fraud? My investigation of how one player could so steeply decline in just 1 year of playing Krakow. This journey begins as an investigation of the anatomy of failure and leads to something much deeper. Did you know that in your first season of Krakow, you had a remarkably higher spin rate than any of the other players practicing a submarine ball?
Well, I didn't. I mean, I was just throwing it. It was coming off the tips of my finger. It was sort of a natural thing. I don't keep track of the stats.
However, Mr. Shea was not being completely honest with us. Looking at this chart right here shows how spin rate is supposed to be affected by players of Mr. Shea's age. And as you can see by the charts, in red is Mr. Shea's figures. The figures that just do not align with the rest of the league. We knew that something was going on here. This sort of decline is indicative of PED use. Do you have any comment on the PEDs?
No.
But it does seem like such a sharp decrease would indicate either an adverse effect to drug use or the quitting of using these drugs.
I don't know what to say about that. I wasn't on drugs.
But we intend to prove that Mr. Shea was indeed on PEDs. But for that, we need the other half of the story, so we turn to the Krakow Kid. Nathaniel Shea, the Krakow Kid, or, as he goes by now, the Krakow Dude.
Dude,
Very
one
nice.
Krakow dude. Let's go.
Are you familiar with the spin rate statistics?
No, man. I just play the game. I don't analyze it.
Michael Shea had a dramatically higher spin rate than anyone in the league up until 3 years ago. After 2019, his spin rate dropped significantly. In fact, to below average for any player in the league. Did you feel like his balls were harder to pick up on due to an increased spin rate?
In 2019, yeah, there was some trickery there.
Do you think it's possible that he used PEDs, personal enhancement drugs?
Yeah, man. Now that you mention it, yeah, I've seen him. I've seen his medicine cabinet, man. I've gone in there. There's some drugs I don't know about in there, man. I mean,
Seeing as the Krakow Dude was super drunk at the time, I wondered how much he would admit to on a camera. Have you ever used any performance-enhancing drugs?
No, man, not performance enhancing. No, never.
Are you sponsored currently?
I am, yeah. I'm sponsored by pharmaceutical companies all over the world. Yeah. I got 10 scholarships. One of them's in Asia. They make this little pharmaceutical drug that makes you go faster, think better, and get all crazy ideas. Yeah. I wouldn't say they enhance my performance. It's just mental, I mean, I can look at the field and I can be, hey, Webster's open. Bah, get up. The more Krakow dude.
Now, let's go back to Michael Shea for 1 minute.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask, what does he stand to gain from taking these drugs?
Oh, I've talked to him about this before, man. I mean, allegedly talked to him before, but he's saying, if I don't win at Krakow, could I still have the court? Am I gonna have to give up my house to Webster, Alanis? Yeah, he's paranoid. That's what's going on.
Alanis?
Yeah.
Mr. Alanis, the dog father, and personal friend of Mr. Shea? What could possibly be going on here?
Of course, that's all off the record. Don't put that in the interview.
Does the dog father, does he bet on Krakow? Do you know?
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, man. He's got a huge penthouse in Vegas, right by the casino. He can just run down and turn in some tickets there. Yeah. I mean, I've done some favors for him, and he's been on me, you know, or against me, and that's cool, you know. I mean, I've lost some games, not on purpose, for him, not for him, just as a coincidence, obviously. But yeah, I know he's made quite a substantial sum off some crack-off games.
Do you think that Michael Shea could have been paid by Mr. Alanis to stop using and turn himself from one of the most dominant crack-off players of the generation into someone who is worse than James Shea?
Well, so, I don't know if there's anyone really worse than James Shea. I mean, I'm just thinking, like, you know, maybe he wasn't paid to stop using him. Maybe his supply was cut off. You know, it's not something I don't think Mike Shea would do voluntarily. So I'm thinking maybe, you know, I mean, I've seen Alanis's name come up on a couple checks there from my pharmaceutical companies. So, I mean, you know, he's got his tentacles in a lot of pockets.